hard to believe that we've been together so long for so many boot camps. This is so great. All right, so we're setting up the webinar and going live, and there we go. All right, so I think we're officially live, and this is day 2 of the sales funnel boot camp. And there's some of you guys that are live on Zoom, which is great. We can see you guys. Thank you for coming. And then some of you guys that are live actually on the YouTube channel. And I will be doing my best to keep up with the comments on the YouTube channel. If you do want to comment there, it's a challenge sometimes to keep bouncing back and forth, but I will do my best to keep up with it if I can. And the wonderful thing is I have the beautiful and talented and amazingly intelligent Phoenix with me. And she always helps me out. So Phoenix, if you could help me out today, that would be fabulous. If you want to look at the live version, you can. And if there's any questions, burning questions that pop up, that would be fabulous. If you just kind of go, hey, Shelly, hello, there's a question.
Okay, I'll check YouTube as well then. Okay. And if you want to bump me up to co-host, I can let people in as you go along.
Well, thank you so much. You are officially co-host. There you go. And that helps me as well. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Phoenix is one of our people that's working on her certified partner training. She's just about done. She's only got the tasks to go, and she's done a fabulous job. So it's always nice to have Phoenix in here helping out for sure. She's one of our top leaders in Builderall. We're always happy to have her. So today, what are we going to talk about? So
Charlie, hang on. Which channel are you on YouTube?
Oh, sorry. I'm on the Builderall Boot Camps channel.
There's a Builderall Boot Camps channel. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep, it's got its very own channel. Isn't that awesome?
Right.
All right. So what are we going to do today? Yesterday, we talked about sales funnels in general, right? We talked about the idea of sales funnels. We talked about kind of how they're constructed, the idea of what an upsell is, the idea of what a downsell is, the idea of what a one-time offer or OTO is. We talked about a lot of things that are just beginning stuff about sales funnels. So today, we're going to go a little bit deeper into sales funnels. We're going to talk about some of the psychology of the sales funnel, the art of the sales funnel, which is, to me, this is exciting because it's not just, it's not the drawings and it's not all marketing. There's an art form to it as well, right? And I've seen some funnels that I'm just like, wow, that's beautiful. So we're going to talk about that piece of it because it's actually really exciting. We're going to talk about creating some urgencies in sales funnels and some scarcity. That is actually another tool you can use. Using persuasion effectively when you're going through and setting up these funnels. And then, of course, how do you hook them? How do you get them into that sales funnel and get them going where you want them to go? So let's go ahead, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the wacky things you can do with sales funnels because I'm teaching this, so we're going to get a little wacky. So let's go ahead and get started and just talk a little bit about the psychology of selling, right? So when we talk about the psychology of selling, we have to apply those principles inside of our sales funnel. And I love this because we talked a little bit about the tripwire funnel, which is my favorite funnel, right? That's my favorite. And we talked about the fact that in a tripwire funnel, we're kind of tripping them into buying our core offer by convincing them they need to first buy our irresistibly inexpensive tripwire offer. And then once they pull out that credit card and they buy that tripwire offer, they're ready to buy. They've already made that first purchase, so the second purchase isn't going to be so hard. So that's kind of part of a psychology of selling, right? If we can get them to break out that credit card, we're actually doing good. There's some more psychology of selling that you can do. For example, if you're selling something for $50, that sounds great, right? But if you can set it for $49.97 or $49.95, why we buy it when we wouldn't buy it at 50, there's no telling because we're only saving 3 cents or 5 cents or whatever it is. But it's part of the psychology of selling. So for you guys that have Walmart near you, in the South, every other, like Walmart's like Starbucks to us, right? but go into a place like Walmart and take a look at how they do that psychology of selling. And you'll see that things are, you don't hardly ever see on Walmart prices, anything's at a $0. So $52 or $25. The only time you ever see that if it's on clearance, right? And you have those clearance stickers and it has the dollars on there, the $0. Everything that sells at Walmart sells, it's something that's not on the dollar, and it's usually really close to at the top end. So $49.95, $25.97, $66.89, right? That is a psychology tool that they use, because in your mind, even though you're not like consciously thinking, oh, okay, that's not $50. It's only $49.97. It's subconscious, right? Somehow inside your brain's going, well, it's not 50. And somehow that justifies you being able to break out the credit card and purchase. So when you're setting up the pricing, you have to think about the psychology of the pricing of your product all the way through your funnel, whether it's the small offer item, like a tripwire offer, where you want to sell it really inexpensively. So maybe you want to sell it for 99 cents, $1.99, $1.97, $2.97, something really low. Because it's funny, because a $2.97 item will sell better, way better than a $3 item, even though there's only 3 cents difference. How do I know this? Because I actually have books on Amazon, and Amazon lets you set the pricing to whatever you want it to set it. So these little ebooks I can sell for 99 cents. I can sell them for $1.99, $1.29, whatever I want. And consistently, if I set it for $1.99, that's where it sells the absolute best. If I set it for, $2, $3, and I've tested all of this with my books, just to see what that psychology of pricing does. And invariably, when I put it back to that $1.99, or if I have a book that I want to sell for 99 cents, that psychology of pricing works every time. And my sales just go through the roof compared to if I set it at just a straight $2 or $3, even though there's only pennies difference. So you have to be thinking in terms of not necessarily tricking your person, but there's a psychology about it. And here's the issue that you're running into is, let's say you've got the pricing at $49.97, right? If you put that price at $50, it's not that the person has devalued your item. It's just that they are good stewards of their money. And $50 sounds worse than $49.97, even though there's only 3 cents difference. So it's actually not necessarily about you and not wanting to buy your stuff. It's about, do I really want to spend $50, right? 50 is a nice round number. But when you talk about $49.97, for some reason, it doesn't hit as hard. And they're more willing to say, oh, I can go in for $49.97. We do it. We all do it. We all do it. So check out Walmart and see the kings of that psychological pricing structure, so you can see kind of how to start working that into your sales funnels, so that you can take advantage of some of those things that'll help you sell. And remember to never really set anything at an oddball, even price, $25, $30, $50, $75. Now I do set pricing at, like I have a product right now that's $47, but I like the $47 to me because it's a disruptive oddball price. You don't hardly ever see anything at $47. And again, I'm going for that factor of, well, it's not $50, but it's not that saving them a whole 3 cents. So it's a little bit of a different spin on the psychological factor. Not quite exactly the same, but a little bit different. Instead of working with the dollars and cents, I'm only working with the dollars to see how that goes. So test things, play with things, try things, and then definitely look at those experts that are already out there and doing this type of thing. So that's the psychology of selling. There's a lot more to the psychology of selling, but pricing to me is one of the biggest things because it can get you in a pickle. if you've got some really wacky pricing. And then always make sure that before you price anything that you put in a funnel, that you've done your research on if it's an acceptable price. And with saying that, what that means is if you're selling an underwater basket weaving course and you put it up there for $6,000, and then you can go to the website and find free underwater basket weaving courses all day long. Well, you better have some massive value to be able to charge $6,000 for that. So always research your pricing. It doesn't mean you have to follow in line with what everybody else is doing, because you may have something that's the bomb diggity, but you want to make sure what you're doing is the bomb diggity before you charge that price. So always compare what you're doing with what other people are doing and then make the decision accordingly. And you can undersell yourself sometimes when you do the research, for sure. But, and you will, the first few funnels that you make, you will. That's all there is to it. But as you go through this process and you learn, you'll know if you've got the bomb diggity and you can charge extra. The art of the funnel. When we go through and start building these funnels, you're going to see that there is, to me, in my opinion, a true art form to it. It's not just about, okay, make sure your pricing is right, and make sure that the buttons are right, and make sure that the checkout is right, and make sure you've got this above the fold and this below the fold. All of that's good, right? But then there's a subtle art that is, to me, that infusion of who you are. So you're going to be infusing you in there by colors, by design, by what you're saying. For example, you're not going to find funnels that I create where I say, make $52,000 in 3.5 seconds, right? Because that's not my personality. So I will never put that in there, because that's not the way I'm going to sell anything. So my funnels are going to have a different style, a different art, a different flair than other people. Does that mean that I'm wrong or that they're wrong? Absolutely not. It just means that, again, that's that subtle art piece of it that you really can't capture at all until you start putting together funnels. And then you start seeing what your flair is. And it's funny because I compare this a lot to painting. I started painting about 2 years ago. I'd never painted before in my life. And I'm science brained. I taught high school biology. So I thought there was no way I even had any talent for painting, because I was all math, science, logic, all that kind of stuff. I thought there's no way that you can get me to draw anything and it will look anything like what it should look like. In fact, if somebody asked me to draw a tree, I would just draw the triangle and draw one green color, and that was a tree. That was good. That was a tree. But I found out through taking a couple of art classes and painting classes that everybody has their own style. So for me to think that I couldn't be an artist was like totally wrong, because I can be an artist. I just will have my own style. And if you look behind me, there's one of my pictures that I painted right there. I actually have my own style. If you had someone like any of you guys, if you painted that same picture, it would be slightly different. It wouldn't be wrong in any kind of way. It would just be slightly different based on your style and your flair. And there's some people that would look at that picture and they would go, oh my gosh, that's crappy. You know, obviously she's not painted, but just for 2 years. But then other people might look at it and they might go, wow, Shelly, that's really great. I love what you did with that picture. But it's all about that resonation, right? It's all about the resonation. And you're going to be creating that with your funnels. Believe it or not, you're going to be creating that resonation with your funnels. So even if Phoenix and I, David, Javier, Gabrielle, Yvonne, Bradley, all of us were building funnels, and we built it on the same exact product, even with the same graphics. We could even use the same exact graphics. It would all be different because our content, the wording would be different. The way we place things would be different. I might put shadows on something that David would not. There might be splashes of color in different places that someone would do that another person would not. It's amazing the differences that you would have. So when we talk about the art of the funnel, that's going deeper into what you're going to be able to infuse based on your personality your flair and the things that you like to do when you're building these funnels. And you're going to be really clunky at first because you don't know what your flair is and you don't know what your style is. Just like I was really clunky with painting. Actually, when I first started painting and looked at my pictures, I just wanted to like burn them. I wanted to burn all of them because they were not like anybody else's pictures. It was like, man, look at what you did over there. That's really good. Mine's crap. But what I'm finding out now, 2 years into it, is they're not crap. They're just my style. They're absolutely my style. So your funnels are not going to be crap. Let me warn you about that ahead of time. They're going to be your style. And your style is going to go through an evolution as you keep building. And you will actually have a very distinct style for these funnels after a while. And then it gets actually really fun because you start to recognize your own style in the way you build these. And for those that have been with me a while, through certified partners and through the boot camps, you guys know that I have a very distinct style. Mine is like very clean, very, very boxy. It's exactly at Phoenix. When I grab in my buttons, they're the square buttons, but they always have the rounded edges. Blues are going to always be there. That's just the way it is. And if I start downing myself because of that and start saying, oh my gosh, I don't make them like Phoenix does, or I don't make them like Tyree does, then I'm doing a self-defeating thing, right? Because believe it or not, my funnels work. Even though I've got blue and they're boxy and the buttons are rounded and they actually work. So you can do this. Put your everything in there. Get the brain juices working, but get that art stuff working too. And really think about the fact that your flair is going to be in there, whether you like it or not. And that flair is important. That flair actually is really important because that's what's building you as an entrepreneur. The next thing I want to talk about a little bit is urgency and scarcity. When we build these funnels, we do sometimes want to build some urgency and some scarcity in there, but we want to be really reserved with that. To me, that's a superpower, and it's being overused at this point. Everything is urgent. You got to buy it now. Call today. Click here now. Buy now. Do this now. Do it yesterday. It's all just, exclamation points at the end of everything. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. And it's okay to create urgency. When you do a call to action, you want them to do it now, but be conservative with it and don't have 52 buttons on a page that say, do it now. So scarcity is also really important because if you have something that truly is scarce, like I've got 50 copies of these, and once these 50 copies are sold, they're gone, then you need to be really meaning that. There's a book that Eric was reading called All Marketers Are Liars. And it is actually kind of true. We all kind of lie a little bit. And when we lie, we'll say things like only 50 tickets. Once they're sold, they're gone, when you know you've got 200. So be careful when you use it, because if everything you do is that, then that person's going to see it as, well, gosh, they've done. Again, it's an emergency. It's kind of like the guy that cries wolf like 52 times. And on the 53rd time, you're like, whatever, dude. And he gets eaten by the wolf. So be careful with that. It is, again, a superpower. Use it if you need to, but don't use it every single time to say, I've got this product. There's only 50 copies. Once they're sold, we'll never sell them again. If it's true, do it. If it's not true, maybe think about rewording it differently. You can still create some scarcity, but not the kind of scarcity where the person's fooled again and fooled again and fooled again and fooled again, right? Because again, eventually they're going to be like, I'm not falling for it again, and they'll just click out. So use that superpower wisely. And then, believe it or not, and this is one that I want you guys to really think about, because this was a hard one for me to think about when I first started doing this digital marketing thing. You guys have the power of persuasion. It's another superpower, believe it or not. And when you're building these funnels, you have so much power in the words that you're going to be adding to these funnels, these headlines, these subheadlines, the information about the product. and you will be seen as the expert. So when you always want to do it with the greatest integrity, right? Again, I go back to that book that says all marketers are liars. Really try hard not to be the marketer that's the liar. Use your sense of persuasion for them to buy this product because they need it, because it's actually able to do effectively all the things that you said it could do. So if you've got an ebook that's on underwater basket weaving, don't promise that it can solve world hunger. If you buy this book, it will solve world hunger too. It won't. So always use the information that you put on your website and in your funnel in a very in a way that you protect the integrity of not only your funnel but yourself. And again, it all goes back to that know, like, and trust factor, right? If you're trying to persuade them to buy something and you're over inflating what this product can do inside this funnel, and so you're persuading them to buy this because it's going to solve world hunger, it's going to provide world peace, we're going to go to one world government, the environment's going to be saved, and everybody's going to be able to live in utopia. And of course, I'm exaggerating. But you've seen these kind of websites, right? Where you go in and they're like, you get this, and every single bullet point is exaggerated to the point where you're like, it's not even true, right? There's no way that it can do all of that and be a bag of chips. So the reality is that you can still use those powers of persuasion, but do it in a way that is you protect your integrity and you protect the product integrity. And Phoenix made a comment that is important. The integrity of your online reputation is gold. Protect it. Mean what you say. Do what you promise. No more, no less. And I love that, Phoenix. And the other thing that I say often is under promise and over deliver. So if there's anything that you're doing when you're selling your product and you're doing that power of persuasion as you're building your sales funnel, creating your content, I would always tell you under promise to that customer, and don't under promise as in, yeah, we'll do our best to help you. That's a little under promising, right? That's like under promising. But put in there what the product can really do. Don't do a bunch of fluff, just noise type stuff. And you'll get advice from people that say when you do a sales page, it has to be 63 miles long. And so when you're doing a 63-mile long sales page, you tend to overinflate things, right? Because you're running out of words. You don't know what more to say. So you overinflate things. Keep it simple, straight to the point. Keep that integrity in there and talk about your product, under promise, and then over deliver. So when they do buy the product, it's actually more than what they ever imagined it could be based on what you said on that sales page. To me, that is definitely protecting the product, definitely protecting your reputation. And what's going to happen is the people that buy from you will buy from you again, because now they know you as a person that when they went through that sales page, you were no fluff, no muss. It was straight to the point. This is the product I needed. I bought it, and it was way better than I thought it was. Is that easy to do? No. Nope. You're not going to get it right the first time. You will not. But as you progress, resist the urge to overhype. And why do I say this? How many of you guys have been in a funnel within the past week that you felt that the item was overhyped? Anybody? I've probably been in 100, right? They're all over where they're overhyped. And what's happening is the market itself is just getting so bogged down with the overhype that they don't trust anything anymore, right? They just don't trust anything anymore. So we as marketers need to take it back. We need to take it back and do it right. And so when you do it right, that means try your best not to overhype. Keep that integrity in there. Use your power of persuasion. It really is a superpower. If you say you're an expert in Facebook ads and you're selling me a Facebook ad course so I can learn how to do it, you're persuading me that you're the expert and to buy your product. I have to trust you that you're not overhyping it and you're just full of crap. And what you've done is taken somebody else's information, rehashed it, and put it into a course, right? And that's what's happening, guys. That's what's happening is people are taking other people's information. They've never done Facebook ads ever. They're hyping it up. This is the answer. This is the thing. This is going to make you $1 million in 2 days. Just watch these videos. It's on Facebook ads and you're going to do it all for just $2.95. Do it, do it, do it. It's so much hype. And so the people fall into it and they fall into it again, fall into it again. And pretty soon they bought 20 things that really aren't anything. They can't do anything with it. So it's your choice to take it back. You can go the hype route if you want to. I mean, I won't ever actually go in and stop you from doing it. But my position is, my thoughts are, we have the power to take it back. And to put that integrity in there and use your superpower of persuasion, you can do it. And then one of the last things that I want to tell you about funnels is the main piece of the funnel, the main areas that you'll focus on when you are creating any funnel. And that is what your hook is to get them into the funnel, what your headline is to keep them on the page, and then the framework or skeleton blueprint of the funnel to send them straight through the path to get through that funnel. So your hook, your headline, and then the path. Write all that down, because those are the main structures of any funnel. Hook, how are you going to get them there? Headline, how are you going to keep them there? And then the path, where are you going to send them? Hook, headline, and path. HHP. And in this process of hook, headline, and path, what we're trying to do is first bring awareness about you, your company, your product, your service. We're trying to create an interest. We're trying to help them make a decision. And we're trying to encourage them to take action on that decision. So when we go for that hook, headline, and path, what we're working on is awareness, interest, decision, and action. Those are the things that we want to happen with the people that enter our sales funnel. So when we start building, we're going to actually look at those things. We're going to look at the hook. What's the hook to get them there? We're going to look at some headlines to see what are some good headlines to keep them on the page. And for everybody, that's going to be different, right? Don't fall into this trap of, I've got these 65 best headlines that are going to make you $1 million. Well, yeah, they might be the 65 best headlines that are great to keep Javier on the page, but not Shelly on the page, right? So don't fall into that trap either, because again, that's all style. Everybody's different. There's not going to be one size fits all for the perfect headline to solve everybody's problem of keeping somebody on the page. And then of course the path is going to change depending on what the sales funnel is. So if you're creating just a lead magnet funnel, the path is going to be different than if you're doing a full tripwire funnel, which is different than if you're doing a webinar funnel, which is different than if you're doing an invisible funnel or a reverse funnel or a squeeze page. So all of that is all changeable. And that's why I will tell you always, there is no one single course that can give you all the answers. There's courses that can give you ideas, but your answers are going to come from doing it. Your answers on how sales funnels work and how you want to build sales funnels is actually going to come from actually doing it, right? The action part is the actual place where you learn. All the others is just kind of ideas. But again, when you talk about putting your flair in there, your personality, your style, and then learning about how to hook them into your funnel, what are your best headlines that you like that attract the people that you resonate with? What path do you want them to go through for your funnel? What do you want them to see? How are you going to create awareness about your product? How are you going to create interest about your product? How are you going to convince them to make that decision to take action? Every one of us in here will do it differently, because we're all very different in the way we think about our product and our business. Okay. So now let's talk about, David, go ahead.
It's a bit like what Gabriel was talking about last week, the avatar. What avatar do you want to be? Mm-hmm. You can be the hypey avatar if you want it, mm-hmm. But as Otto or Bradley, their responsibility is in my book as well, and respect as well, right? So yeah, we're good. Let's be professional about it. That's the best way to put it, you know.
Right.
Instead of all this hypey rehashing and yeah. Anyway, right.
Well, and David, I think you hit on something that it's probably one of my pet peeves, and that is that there's all kinds of ebooks out there. There's courses out there that'll tell you, I'll teach you how to do the perfect headline, or I'll teach you how to do the perfect sales page, or I'll teach you how to do the perfect so-and-so. But again, I keep going back to that. Yes, take those courses and learn the tips and tricks that they have. But to me, there is no one answer because everybody's so different. So what you take out of those types of courses is going to be different than what I take out of the course. And I may get the structure of a headline right, but the words that go in there are going to be so different than somebody like that does the make $62,000 in 3.5 seconds. They're okay with that. And again, I'm not calling that bad. That's just another way to do sales. But that would not be a way that I would do it because that's a personal choice. So each person is going to be different in the way they do things. So always educate yourself and don't fly by the seat of your pants. You're going to constantly be educating yourself. But as you're educating yourself, also understand that your flair and personality is going to go in there to make it different. So at some point, when, just like what I did with my pictures, when I'm looking at my pictures going, God, I hate my pictures. They are so not like my instructor's pictures. I had to learn that I'm not going to paint like my instructor. I'm going to paint like Shelly does. So when you start creating your sales funnels, you're not going to make it like Shelly does, or like Phoenix does, or like Eric does, or even like Russell Brunson does. You're going to create funnels that are maybe structurally similar, but then when you start creating the actual content and maybe you reorganize the funnel a different way because you don't like the path, because you want your product presented differently, and you want your person to go this way through the funnel, not that way through the funnel, none of that's wrong. It's all going to be a learning process where you decide what you want it to be, and it is you own it, right? Nobody can take it away from you. You own it. So don't ever compare yourself or think that you're behind the times or anything, or behind anyone or worse than anyone. You are you. And each of us are just going to be slightly different in the way we do these things. And what's funny is I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, including me. And again, if we worked on the same exact funnel for the same exact product, and we even said, here's the blueprint, make this blueprint, they would be so drastically different that honestly, people would go look at them and may not even know they were the same exact assignment, right? They'd see it was the same product, but they may not realize it was even the same exact assignment because there'll be so much flair of our own personalities in each one. So I just want you to understand that, because that's, to me, is a stumbling block for new people when they're doing funnels, is when they come out, they think they have to be doing it a certain way. And again, educate yourself, make sure you understand what a funnel is and the different elements of a funnel, understanding how blueprints are put together, all that kind of stuff, the technical stuff. But the art part, to me, is the fun part, because again, everybody is just going to be a little bit different. Okay. So now let's, do you guys have any questions about that? Does that resonate with you? How do you feel about that? Yeah. Good. Got a few thumbs up. That's good. So now let's talk about the sales funnel itself. And let's think about some things that we can put inside of a sales funnel and actually work this thing into what can go in a funnel. I mean, what has to go into a funnel? Can anything go in a funnel? How do you put it in a funnel? So let's talk about that. And for that example, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you a product that I think is actually a really funny product. And I used it in one of my high school biology classes. I'm going to go to Amazon.com.
Shali, while you do that, we had a big thank you from Ojebanji Sotunde in the YouTube channel. So he just thank you for the value. He's not catching us on the Zoom live, but he is checking us out on Zoom. So shout out to you.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for the big thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So this is so funny, but in high school biology, one of the things that we had to learn, or I had to teach the kids, was I had to teach them about the scientific method. Okay. And in that process, the scientific method, there's certain steps that you go through for the scientific method, and you could go through them. Let me look at your eyeballs so I can see your face. But you can go through them and through the steps and say, step 1 is, examine the situation. Step 2 is come up with a hypothesis. Step 3 is so boring, right? You can explain every one of the steps, but it's like so boring. So I tried to think creatively what we could do to learn those steps and internalize those steps way more than just memorizing what these things were on a piece of paper. So what I came up with is a way to test goldfish to see if they have memories longer than 8 seconds. Now, if you guys have ever been involved in kind of mind manipulation, sometimes we have to do that with 9th and 10th graders. Make them think it's their idea and not our idea. So what I did was went through the scientific method and then asked them, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did an experiment to test, like, I don't know, the memories of goldfish or something? And that started the conversation, right? Again, that's me manipulating them and then them starting that conversation. So all during that conversation, we talked about how cool it would be to run an experiment. How long did they think their memories were, what we could do. And through that direction, I actually worked with them to come up with a complete experiment on how to test their memories for a goldfish, right? We came up with the idea where we found the problem or found an issue. We came up with a hypothesis. We came up with an experiment. We collected data, and we came up with conclusions. All of that is the scientific method. But they were actively doing it by using this Goldfish Training Kit. So that's where this experiment comes from, right? Is my experience with the Goldfish Training Kit. But by the way, they do have memories longer than 8 seconds, and it is amazing what you can teach them to do. But we used this Goldfish Training Kit to be able to do that. We actually found it on Amazon. We bought it. We pulled it into our classroom, and we used it. And it's a way to set it up so that this long wand right here actually has food in it. And you put the wand down in the water. And when the fish comes close to the wand, you push the button, it releases the food. So you immediately start teaching the fish that if it comes close to the wand and it's not scared of it, it will get food. The next step was to drop the ring down in there. And there's a ring right there and some stands. So you drop the ring down in the water. And then you just put the wand down in the water close to the ring to get them coming close to it. And then eventually you put it through the ring. And as they come close to the wand, you pull it through the ring and they swim through the ring to get the food. So you're conditioning them to actually come towards that wand and go through the hoop, right? And then eventually what happens is they learn to go through the hoop without even having the wand in there, and they know they're going to get some food. So it's absolutely amazing what you can do. So anyway, there's a couple things that we can learn from this Goldfish Training Kit. The first one is conditioning, right? So we conditioned a fish. Do you think you can condition your funnel visitors? Yeah, absolutely. So that's lesson number 1 from the goldfish, right? But lesson number 2, can we put this item into a funnel? Can a Goldfish Training Kit go into a funnel? Yeah, you think so? Yeah, let's think about how we could do it, okay? So let's think about this Goldfish Training Kit as being maybe what's called the front end offer, okay? That means it's the first offer that I'm gonna offer as an item for sale. But before I offer this, maybe I've got an ebook that I can offer that I can trade for an email and a name. So I'm gonna create maybe an ebook that says something like the amazing memory of fish. And maybe talk about how fish have memories of more than 8 seconds, and you can actually train them to do things. Isn't it amazing? We've heard stories of people training people to fish to swim through hoops. We've heard stories of blah, 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 maybe have some pictures of all that happening. So you're conditioning them already to think about training fish, right? So we give that book away in the opt-in, and we get their email and their name. Then we can send them to that front end offer, which is the actual training kit, right? So that's our first thing inside our funnel to sell is the training kit. So now let's say that they buy that, that training kit. What can we offer them next that might be an upsell? What do you think?
I would sell them a fish tank with all the goodies.
That's a great idea. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the next step is now you've got a kit. Don't you need a fish tank? So you can actually do a fish tank with all the stuff in it, right? Or you could go a different direction. Instead of selling them the physical stuff, you can go a different direction and sell them maybe videos, right? So you can say, now you've got the kit. Let me sell you a whole package of videos that'll teach you how to actually go through and use this kit effectively, right? So we can go either way. We can do the physical products, or we can do like a set of digital products. And then what else can we do? Is there anything else we can do?
You can give them personal coaching, like work with me one-to-one if you have a stubborn, stupid goldfish.
That's it. Oh my gosh. So listen to what's happening is just on a basic goldfish training kit, we've taken that single product that is actually almost an unbelievable product, right? It's like really a goldfish training kit. You can train a goldfish seriously, but you can create a fully fleshed out sales funnel from that goldfish training kit, right? You can say the free offer is a free ebook to talk about, wow, did you know that you could train fish? And then you've got the front end product, which is the goldfish training kit itself. It's like, yep, you sure can. Here's how you do it. And then you're like, oh, well, we know that you've got a stinker of a goldfish. Let's get you some videos so that we can really help you understand how to learn how to train this goldfish. And then, oh, you got a really, really stinky fish. Let's do some one-on-one coaching so that we can really get you in there and train that goldfish. Or go the other direction and say, hey, you need a tank and accessories and all that kind of stuff. Well, then maybe we need to put you on a recurring payment for another upsell that's for food and cleaning supplies for the tank and all that kind of stuff.
The food is evergreen.
Yeah, there's so many directions you can go with this that it's absolutely unbelievable what you can do with a goldfish training kit. Phoenix?
And then you can also add the annual goldfish training competition event. Blah, blah, get your trophy. You know, you've got the smartest goldfish.
There's so much.
Enter your video for the big prize.
There you go. I could see it as even having like a membership area where, you know, goldfish trainers of the world unite and join each other in trading ideas about how to train your goldfish. There's so many things that you could do with it and have so much fun with it. Facebook pages, Instagram, Pinterest.
Special guide to do the dorsal fin and other little things. There's so many. Like the only thing that would stop any sort of a funnel there is your mind.
Right.
And then comes all the merchandise, you know. Merchandise. Get your sticker, get your cell phone cover.
My phone cover.
Oh my goodness.
It's endless. It's endless, Phoenix. It's endless. Even toilet paper.
Even toilet paper, that's right. So the idea behind this exercise, this thinking exercise, is for you to understand that there is actually, to me, no limit to a sales funnel.
But there needs to be a sensibility. I mean, you don't want to do a 20-step funnel. You can lose people.
That's true. And when you're sending them through a funnel, there has to be some consistency as well. Because obviously we don't want to sell a goldfish training kit and then in the very next page send them a real estate purchasing guide.
Yeah, but maybe at some stage in the funnel, send them back to your blog where you have all the items on one page.
Yes,
so you're not sort of shoving it down their neck. You're saying, oh yeah, I can have a look at that. It's all on a page and you can have a look at it and I'd like to buy that.
Bradley added how to exercise your fish. So that could be another upsell. Yeah. So you guys could see the value of this. It's so much fun. So here's what I want you to do. I've pretty much covered what I wanted to do today. I wanted, again, to keep it short and keep it simple. You guys got hopefully a bunch of great information to think about. But here's your homework. I want you to find an oddball item like a Goldfish Training Kit. Don't use that one, though. It's already been used. And I want you to flesh out and think about what kind of funnel you can build with that item. So think of an oddball item, flesh out your idea of what you could do for a sales funnel. Robson?
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned, though, aren't you supposed to find an audience first for that particular niche?
Yeah,
because you don't want to bring everybody, you know.
We're spitballing right now. We were absolutely spitballing. Absolutely
I'm going ahead of time here.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you're working in a niche, then you want to definitely focus on that niche and putting products in there for that niche. We're actually just wide open spitballing for sure, because I want you to see that what happens is there's a lot of people that like they'll be like, oh, I have a such and such. I just don't think that could ever be in a funnel. I can't even see how that would go in a funnel. What I want you to be thinking is anything can go in a funnel, and you can create a funnel where everything is related. Upsells, downsells, OTOs, front end offers, tripwire offers, core offers. All those ideas can be implemented when you think about that item. I can't think of really anything besides like death that you could put into a funnel that you can expand into a full blown funnel.
That you can do.
Even
that, yeah, because you can sell caskets and funeral things.
Little urns as well. I have urns.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. So yeah. So that's what I want you to do is I want you to put that creative hat on, find a really oddball product, and you guys know me well enough now. Anything goes, and see if you can put that into a funnel. And I'll tell you a funny thing. I'll tell you what mine's going to be. You can't steal it. I'm going to start from scratch. I have not thought about it enough to say I've already got it all figured out. But yesterday or the day before, I got an Amazon package in, and I'm a member of Amazon Vine, which is a program that allows you to test products and then do reviews. And I got a product in that cracked me up. It is a pregnancy test.
Is it something you're not telling us?
I am 52 years old. I've been spayed. I've had 5 children. So when I got and it was 2 of them. It was a kit that had 2 of them in there. So I'm actually going to do the exercise myself with those 2 pregnancy tests to see if I can come up with a complete interesting funnel on how to promote a pregnancy test. What would be my opt-in? What would be, that would be the front end offer? What would be my OTOs or my upsells or downsells? How could I do that? So I'll be doing that with you guys, because to me, this is one of the most fun parts of the sales funnel, is putting it together, thinking about how you're going to build the sales funnel. So you guys, I challenge you to do that tonight and find something wacky, have fun with it. And then we will talk a little bit about it tomorrow before we actually start going into the Pixel Perfect Builder and looking at all of the things about the Pixel Perfect Builder, and then start actually building some funnels. Okay? You got it? Mm-hmm. Are you excited about your homework?
Good. Yes. Good idea.
Best of luck this afternoon with that thing you're getting done. Right? You'll do the finest.
Very good clarity. Got a lot of ahas.
Awesome. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Gabriel. Ahas are wonderful. They're just fabulous. I'll try to get you some more tomorrow, okay?
I'm going to find something that deals with my cat. So, I'm going to find some type of toy that you can.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
That's great. That's a great idea. I can't wait to see it, Tyree. This is the exciting part of what I do, is to get to see you guys and your creativity. So I can't wait till tomorrow to see what you guys come up with.
I'm going for turf.
All right, guys. What now?
I'm going for turf.
For turf. Okay.
T-U-R-F.
Good deal.
And we cut it in Ireland, and it's the farm. Well, a lot of people use it to heat their houses during the winter, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And what they've done, Bradley knows what it is. What people have done is they've cut them into small little pieces, and they sell it online.
Oh wow!
Just for the smell of it. Yeah. So I'm just thinking about that on stupid Irish little things that people spend their money on, even Irish water.
Wow.
It's crazy what people buy.
They do that on, if you go to Fiverr, you'll actually see gigs where people will sell bottled air.
Yeah, bottles of air.
They'll sing a song and they'll do like an image of them writing something on the beach for you. Lots of creative stuff. So gosh, there's so much, guys. It's unlimited. So just get that brain just kind of expanding a little bit, and the most important thing, have fun with it, because this is what's going to put set for building sales funnels. If you have fun and you see how wide open and how much potential there is to just do anything with it, then you will be able to do that, right? If you close it down and you think, oh, I'm just not real sure, then you will never be sure. So this is the time where you get to expand and really explore what you can do, so that when you start building your own, you've already gotten that expanded vision and you'll be able to do a lot better with it. So start expanding now and really have fun with it. Okay. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Wish me luck on my root canal. Bye, guys.
Bye. Take care. Put on the headset when you're there. Don't listen to the drill.
I will, guys. Bye. Have a great one.
Bye. Take care. Look.